So now that we've spent some time discussing organization from a digital standpoint, organizing your Chromebook, we are going to discuss how to best manage your time in a distance learning situation. Your teacher may give you a schedule to follow, but you may need to modify it or you may need to come up with something on your own that's going to work for you. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a student weekly schedule that was created and maybe shared with you. And then I'm also going to discuss how to potentially modify that schedule so that it works best with your personal responsibilities that you might have at home. The most important thing about your schedule is that you know what time each of your class starts. So each class will not be taking place every day. So you need to know what classes you're doing each day and how to log into those classes. And those might vary. The way to log in might vary from teacher to teacher. So you're going to have to make sure that you get that information from your teacher during the first week. You're also going to want to make sure that you schedule independent work time separate from the classes that you complete each day. For example, Monday or Tuesdays, you're going to be attending advisory, first, third, and fifth period if you're a secondary student. You're going to need to also set aside time to do work that may be assigned to you for your even numbered classes. Okay, and we'll look at a schedule and I'll talk about that in a little more detail. The other recommendation that I have for you in organization is that you either print out your schedule and hang it in your learning space, or you write it down, like in a composition book or somewhere. And then you have that with you, that printout or that handwritten schedule every single day, at least for the first few weeks while you're getting into your routine. So this is one that will be shared with all students in the secondary schools. And what it does is it basically breaks down your Monday schedule here, your Tuesday, Thursday schedule here, and your Wednesday, Friday schedule here. This may or may not work for you. Of course, we expect that these times students attend their classes. Your teacher will be discussing more about that with you in the first week of school. What I have shown here are breaks written in, lunch written in, and then, of course, that independent work time down below, which is also when your teachers are going to be hosting their office hours. So if you struggle with scheduling and organization, maybe you want to set a meeting with one of your teachers, maybe your advisory teacher, to help come up with a schedule that will work for you. So a couple other things about organization is it's really important for you to take breaks. So in between those classes, get up, stretch, go get a glass of water, use the bathroom. For when your classes are over, when it's lunchtime, log off your devices. Make sure you're giving time for your brain and your body to rest from all of this online learning and all of these classes that we are going to be completing together. Some tips I have in order to best manage your time is I recommend that you check your email in the morning before advisory and also at the end of the school day. Turn your work in on time. So make sure that when you're looking at those weekly planners, which your teacher is going to share, your teachers are going to share with you, that you know when your work is due and that you also know how to get a hold of your teacher if you're going to need an extension on those assignments. I recommend you check your grades weekly in Synergy and that you go to office hours if you need any help. For the last few minutes of this video, we're going to talk about how to set up a learning space in your home that supports your learning and allows you to concentrate and focus on not only your live meetings with your teacher, but the independent work that you're going to be doing outside of those live sessions. So we know that every student's home environment is different. This part might be a challenge for you. So I'm going to give you some tips and suggestions, but you're going to need to really work with your family and try to come up with the best solution that you can have. The first and most important part of setting up your learning environment is that wherever you are, you need to be free from distractions. So we know that you might not have your own room. You might not be able to go and close the door, but as best as you can, you're going to need to limit the distractions around you, like putting your cell phone away, turning your cell phone off during class, making sure the TV is off, making sure that if your family is engaged in other activities, maybe you are in a different room. If possible, we suggest that your learning environment is consistent. So that means try to set up a small space like a desk, or maybe be at the kitchen table or wherever you feel like you can learn the best. Try to use that same space every day. I don't have it written on here, but another thing to help you with the distraction is to wear headphones. If you can get a pair of headphones that has a microphone built in, that's going to help you, especially if you're in a smaller living space and many people are going to be around you while you're trying to learn. Lastly, you want to try to set up your learning space so that you have an area where you can do different tasks. For example, your teacher, you are going to be receiving materials. Everything that you complete this year is not going to be done on the Chromebook. So you might be in your class on your Chromebook listening to your teacher's lesson, but they might want you taking notes in your composition book. You might need to make sure that your space, you have room for your materials, you have room, have a glass of water, a bottle of water there with you. Make sure that you have everything that you need in your environment before the meetings begin. Okay, so talking about just a little bit about before the school day begins, we suggest that you follow some type of a traditional routine in the mornings. Get up in the morning, it's a school day, right? You're going to want to get dressed like it's a normal school day. You're going to want to have breakfast before your advisory class begins, brush your teeth, help take care of your little brothers and sisters, all of those things that need to happen before you sit down and log into your first class. Additionally, some teachers will be assigning you readings and or videos that you will watch the day before your meeting in order to have a class discussion. So make sure you've completed your readings, make sure that you've looked at those weekly planners, and that you've completed the work from the day before in order to be best prepared for your classes that day. Lastly, before you sign into your first class, make sure you've gathered all of your materials. Do you need colored pencils? Do you need highlighters? Have you brought your textbook to class? Make sure you get all of that stuff. Keep it in a place in your house where you can just grab it and be ready to learn. That's a great way to set up your learning space. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope these organizational tips help you have a successful distance learning semester. I wish you all the best in your school year and in your learning beyond distance learning. Thanks.